assistants, my pleasure to know you are watching us right now. And in our program today, there will be a very special interview with Miss Sherry, who was an assistant. She's going to share with us what happened to her and why she's not serving God anymore. We also have an interview, a testimony with a couple, Miss Sherry and her husband Christopher, who are going to describe how they came to the Universal Church, the problems they went through, how they overcame, and how they became assistants today. And we are also preparing ourselves for the special graduation, which is going to happen on April the 14th. And it's very, very important that you take part of the classes and also you follow up your homework, the reading the Bible every day, visiting Bishop Macedo's blog also every day, and separating the verse, the message that really catches your attention. And you can send your comments as well about everything you are learning, everything you are doing. And we do believe these classes, they have been a very special preparation for the graduation. You can, I'm going to read some comments from our last program. We have the comments of Miss Pamela Mutuzwa. This is a comment about a picture we showed in our last program. If you watch, I do believe you remember very well, we showed a picture of a lady in tears. And Miss Pamela, she wrote saying, the face shows pain, anger, depression, sadness. I would approach this person immediately and ask her, what is the matter? This, I would take time to listen and then offer help with words of encouragement and prayer. This is what Miss Pamela Mutuza from Boston would do if she meets a person exactly like the picture we showed. There is another she also said, I learned in this message to fear God above all things, to watch out for temptations, no matter how many years you've been serving God. This is a comment she made about the message we preached in our last program. We also have a comment of Miss Shaitia Robinson. She's from New York, from the Bronx. She said the pictures show the depression and shows that the person is ready to give up and she's completely lost. And also Omar Paul said pain, anger, and lasting hope. You can send your comments about what you are going to watch in the program of today, about the interview we are going to have, and the testimony. And in a few minutes, we are going to bring to you a message from Bishop Macedo. He's talking about the fasting of Daniel. The 21 days of a fast will start on the 24th, this Sunday, and he's going to talk to us about it. After the break, we are coming back with you with more of your program, Assistant in Focus.
Our goal with the fasting of Daniel is to make a movement of faith of 21 days, not only the fasting of food. We are not even referring about food. These 21 days of fasting, you don't need to stop eating. But it's a greater fasting. It's even worse than the one that you stop eating, I believe, for many people. How many are the people that are listening to me right now that they are addicted to the internet, Facebook, Twitter, and other social networks. Isn't that true? So in this fasting of Daniel, we are going to exclude ourselves from all that media talks about, whether internet, whether the newspaper, whether the magazines, whether be the news on TV. Doesn't matter what it is. We are going to exclude ourselves from this type of information and also any sort of entertainment that this world offers to us. We are going to be alert only to the voice of God. How can we do that? We are going to read the Bible. We are going to watch, for instance, you can watch the series of Joseph in Egypt. You can watch a biblical movie. You can go to our websites that talks about the things of God. You can also visit our blog. There we are going to always have a message for you to be able to meditate throughout the days, in each day of the 21 days. We are going to place a new message so you can meditate, so that you can enjoy and have in your mind throughout the day. And I would like to say that this fasting of Daniel, it will be even stronger than the previous ones, because those who truly want, they are not going to only put themselves aside from this information of TV, internet, the radio, magazines, newspapers. We are going to exclude ourselves as well. We are going to exclude ourselves from all sorts of entertainment, all type of them. For instance, let's say you like the football. You're not going to watch football, unless if you want. If you want to take part of this fasting. If you're a person who loves the TV series, you're going to stop watching. If you're going if you like going to the movies, to the cinemas, you're going to stop. You are going to stop enjoying yourself, and it's going to be like as if you were on a retreat. A retreat that is in the middle of the desert. And then you say, but Bishop, I'm still in school. I am still in the university. So how can I do it? No, you are going to study. You are going to give attention to your work, to your studies. You can't just put it aside. If you are a person that your field is the communication, that you need to have information, you need to be on the internet. So obviously these people depend, their daily bread, their salary depend on this field. So it's all right. You are going to do how much you can, the maximum you can. But if you are able, if you can do 100%, so go deep, because God will be with you. So my friends, this is the spirit that we are going to be in these 21 days of the fasting of Daniel. And I'm inviting all of you that are interested, you who truly want, to receive the plenitude of the Holy Spirit.
All right, so get you ready and let's go together during these 21 days. At the end of these 21 days of the fasting of Daniel, we are going to have the assistant graduation, which is going to happen exactly on April the 14th. And we are together in this special 21 days, which we do believe is going to be a big blessing for all of you. We are going to interview Miss Sherry, and I want you to pay a very close attention to everything that happened to her. Probably you might be going through the same situation. We are going to talk to her right now, right after this short break.
Who am I to be shown such a pure love? Who am I to be made in the image
some minutes ago, we are going to interview Mrs. Cherry, and she's going to tell us, she's going to describe exactly what happened to her after becoming a servant of God. Hello, Cherry.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm well, thank you.
Today you are doing good.
Yes, I'm very well.
Very
Jesus'
well.
name, yes.
You were assistant before, right?
Yes.
How you came to the Universal Church, and how you became an assistant? How everything started in your life?
Well, I came to the Universal Church through an invitation. There was a lady, a friend of mine at my job. She gave me an invitation to come to the Universal Church because she saw that I was always pretty much sad, like suffering from depression. I was always down, worried about my life. And she said, Sherry, here's an invitation to the Universal Church. You go there. She said, God is going to do something for you. God is going to help you. And I took the invitation, and I said, okay, I'm going to go. And it was about 2 weeks before I came to the church. It was on a Friday, the deliverance service. I actually arrived late towards the ending of the service, but I said I was going to come back. And then I came back about maybe a month later, and my life was even worse when I came back a month later from the first time I set foot in the door. Like, things had got worse. And I came back, and then I began to start making my chains of prayers. I learned what the chains of prayers were all about. The pastor spoke with me, and I started to make chains of prayers, and my life began to move forward after some time. Basically, I was free from the depression. God set me free from that. I was no longer sad, conflicted in myself. You know, just inside I was a sad person. So that I overcame, thank God, and I began to have a new focus in life. And that new focus in life was Jesus, you know, learning who he was, and, you know, just starting a new life, starting all over again. And that was my focus for quite some time. And then I began to mature in the church. I was in the church for about almost 2 years when I was called to be an assistant.
Okay, after 2 years in the church,
Yeah.
then you received the call to serve God.
Yes.
How long you have been as an assistant?
When I became an assistant,
Yeah.
I was an assistant for about 3 years.
3 years.
Yes.
And how do you describe those 3 years as an assistant?
Well, those 2 years as an assistant, I would say that I was going through it was a development process, just developing as a person, learning about God, growing in God, discovering him, who he was, what his will was for my life, others, salvation. Really, that's it. You know, I wanted to help other people. As I saw that this is what God wanted from me, and I saw other people suffering, and it touched, you know, a special place inside of me that I really wanted to, you know, do this. This was something that I made up my mind to do. And I was really focused. I was pretty focused up until I met someone who came into the church. This was a gentleman. He came into the church. He was in the church relatively a short time, maybe 6 months, but that's when, you know, I became involved with this person.
You were single that time.
I was single, yes. I was single. And I can't say that I was actually looking for someone, but I had problems in my sentimental life, like in the past, like my whole life, like I was never happy, like in my sentimental life. So that was an area of my life that needed some help, but, you know, I wasn't thinking about it. And so when I met this person, I wasn't making chains of prayers for my sentimental life at all. I was not going to love therapy. It just wasn't something I was really thinking about. And I met this person, and we started to talk. We got along, you know.
Who approached who? You approached him, or he came to you? How this relationship started?
Okay, well, actually, I invited this person to the church. I evangelized him.
Or you evangelized him?
Yes.
You didn't know him before?
No, I didn't. Just someone you meet randomly. You know, go out on evangelism. And I met him, and I gave him some information about the church, and then I just continued to talk to him. But when I was speaking with him, it was just about the church, chains of prayers, God. It was
at
nothing.
First,
yeah.
Your conversation with him was basically only about the church, about
Right.
bringing him to God.
Right. That was it. Really, my concern was, his salvation, just giving his life to God. He was a soul. That's how I saw him when I first met him, as just as a soul, someone to win to Jesus. And then as time went on, we communicate. I would talk to him. He would talk to me. Things got friendly. We were friendly. And then as time went on, a relationship developed out of that friendship.
Who knew about this relationship? Did you talk to the pastor? Did you ask pastor for counseling? You didn't say
No.
anything? It was something you just kept
It was
with
something
yourself.
that I just kept to myself. And, now, with the experience, everything that I went through, I wish I had spoke to someone. I wish I had spoke with the pastor before I just decided to go along with that, but I didn't.
Why you decided to go alone into this relationship without sharing with the pastor?
I didn't know that it was something that I should do. I mean, I met someone, I happened to like this person, and I just thought that it was my decision. I didn't think that I needed to consult
share.
anyone because it was something very personal, and it just never clicked in my mind that I should go and talk to the pastor about this person. I guess I just thought I knew what was best.
Okay. And how this relationship developed? What happened along the way during this relationship?
Well, I would say that, as I said in the beginning, I just saw him as a soul, so I was just trying to win him to Jesus. That was my focus. He was accepting, of me, whatever I would tell him about God and, give your life to God and, Jesus is the way to salvation, Jesus is the only way. Like, he would just accept everything.
What you are explaining that happened to you, probably it's been happening to many assistants who are watching us right now. You probably threw yourself into a relationship. Probably nobody knows about it. Maybe you fear to be taken away from assistant, or probably you fear the pastor to complain. But it's not good. You see, you were saying that, if it was today, I believe your attitude would be different, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Completely different.
Completely different.
You regret
100%. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I can say that through this experience, I have matured so much.
After you get married, what happened in your spiritual life?
Well, my spiritual life went down. It just went down to the bottom. I wanted to serve God. And, God was my life. I wasn't going to exchange God for anyone. But what was happening was that, slowly, it was like a slow process, a gradual change in my spiritual level. It began to go down because I found myself being frustrated a lot in my relationship. I was always frustrated. I was angry a lot. Things were upside down. So I couldn't serve God like that.
And the end of this story was?
Well, the marriage ended in divorce. I filed for divorce. I am divorced today. And it wasn't easy. It was really, really hard.
You have children?
I have 2 children. I have a daughter, she's 6, and my son, he's going to be 3. And it was really, it was hard. It was really hard. I became a single mom out of this. I never wanted to be a single mother. It's not something that I ever imagined myself becoming a single mom. But it happened. And, but I know that I made the right decision because I was not going to compromise my salvation for anyone, even my children's father. So I'm here, I'm fighting, my children are with me. It's a struggle every day, but God gives me the strength, and I'm just determined to keep going.
In the beginning of our interview, you said you are doing very well now.
Yes.
So your spiritual life changed?
My spiritual life changed completely.
Okay.
completely. I feel like I'm free. Like a load was just removed from me.
Okay, thank you very much for your interview. If you are going through the same type of situation, you are in a relationship, God has already shown you that this relationship is not from Him, because what is of God does not bring suffering, does not make us disappointed. Instead, it makes us grow up. So you assistant, if there is doubt, if you are not very sure of what you are doing, if you are not, if you need direction, speak with the pastor. Sit down with him. Be very open, because we as pastors, we are responsible for your spiritual life. Spiritually speaking, we are responsible for you. And our pleasure is to see you being blessed. And many of you can be our children, our sons, our daughters. And you don't have to hesitate or be afraid of approaching us and ask for help. Take this experience that Miss Sherry had and she shared with us, take it as a lesson that can avoid a disaster in your spiritual life. We are having a break. Right after that, we'll be back with you with more of your program, Assistant in Focus.
I've found Jesus, I've found Jesus. Oh, what a joy. I've been saved, I have the light and magnificent peace.
Okay, my friends, we are having an interview right now with a couple who are with us, and they are going to share their story, which is very, very interesting, how everything started and who they are today. And we do believe in the same way they grew up, in the same way they overcame and they made their dreams become a reality. The same can happen to you once you take the right steps. What's your name?
Sheree.
Christopher.
How everything started? Who came first?
I came to the church first. I came when I was about 11 years old.
11 years old.
Yes. My grandmother's friend invited her, and then we started coming. Then my grandmother invited my mom, and then my family started coming to the church when I was 11 years old. And then
What did you know? What did you learn? 11 years old, very a kid. Huh?
Yeah, I learned about God, but you know, growing up, especially in the environment here, you don't really focus on God because you spend most of your time outside of the church. You know, there's school and stuff like that. But I wanted to be, you know, a part of what God had for me, but I didn't know how to at that age as yet.
And how things develop in your spiritual life in the church? What did you learn?
Spiritually speaking, it was tough because one of the things that I didn't learn at that time, at that age, was to humble myself.
How did you know Christopher?
Christopher and I, we went to the same school. We went to college together, and he approached me first to ask to start dating.
That's true.
And then we started dating for like about 2 years before I got the courage to actually invite him to come to church. 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he came to the church, he was a little bit skeptical because he wasn't really, he was a Christian, but he was a Seventh-day Adventist, and he didn't really believe in going to church on Sundays and stuff like that. So that in itself was a fight. But slowly but surely, like, we started working together, coming to church, making our chain of prayers. And then he started evangelizing. He started wanting to be more a part of, you know, the kingdom of God. He wanted to do more. But then it wasn't easy at the beginning. It wasn't easy.
What was the worst moment for you, Christopher? She said you were Adventist, and then she invited you to come to the Universal Church. Was there any shock when, because you know the Universal Church is a very dynamic church. We fight, and how did you see it? What happened to you when you came?
Well, when I came, first of all, I was searching to become a new person. I mean, in the past, bad friends, I used to hold parties, go to parties. I saw what happened with the friends I used to be involved with, and it wasn't good. You know, they had sentimental problems, they had many problems, and I had that problem myself. So I was in search for something different. So when Sherry invited me to the church, I wanted to see what it was about. And when I did, I mean, I can remember vividly. The first time I came to church, I was high. I just finished smoking marijuana, and I was at church, you know. And what really caught my attention really is that, what are you doing, Chris? You're in church and you are high. And it was then that I said, no, this is wrong, I can't do that. And that's where the change happened. I stopped smoking at that point. And then I really I saw the change there. And then I did chain of prayers, and I saw movement there. My lowest moment is that moment of confusion, whether, you know, torn between my family and my faith. And it was also interesting, my sentimental life also was involved.
So you didn't come to church simply because she invited you to come. You came because you were in a very bad situation, bad moment of your life.
Yeah.
You came because you needed help.
Yeah.
So it's it's a little bit different from the story we had some minutes ago about Sherry, who the gentleman basically came because he came because of her. Right. And basically everything she wanted him to do, he did, till the day everything was destroyed. So in your case, as you were saying, you had problems. You want to change. You want to be a better person.
Yes, yes. But I didn't know how. I didn't know how.
We are going to continue with your story. In our next program, we are going to have more of their story, how they became servants of God, how they overcame their problems, and they got to the point of getting married, and today they are serving God together. So in our next program, we are going to give continuation to this wonderful story. We are having a break. When we come back, we are going to make a prayer for you and finish our program.
You are power, you are His strength and youth. You are the creator of all things. You are salvation, you are love.
Close your eyes, if it's possible, depending on the place where you are right now, and let's talk with God. My Father, take your servants into your mighty hands right now, especially those who are going through sentimental problems. Put an angel around them to protect, to guide. Don't let them fall into temptation, but let them be wise and protect their salvation. Take, my Father, these 21 days of fasting we have joined with, and let us consecrate our life. Let us sanctify our life, my Lord, and give your Spirit room, enough room for Him to use us every day, everywhere we go. We bless your servants in Jesus' name, and you all say amen. Write your comment. What is special for you? What really caught your attention in this program? You can write there in YouTube. You can write your comments, or you can email us. You have the email address. Feel free to get in touch with us. We'll be together with you next time with more of your program, Assistant in Focus. And get you ready for April the 14th. Goodbye. God bless you.